floor is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, and hello to everybody. Couple of words. So ADM is an agency who is like servicing both public sector and private sector clients, and we are trying to merge the experience what we get from both disciplines. And maybe a little bit also background in terms of like Estonia. Estonia, when we got back our independence, we didn't have huge governmental budgets to build different solutions or use enterprise solutions, so we had to be smart and how to use different open source solutions and how to use them wisely so the budgets would be kind of as effective as possible. So this is kind of the background, and also why I like this kind of like GovStack principles in terms of like to build a community around this kind of service offering. But what I'm going to talk about when Taavi was talking about the proof of concept in terms of like how to build a data interoperability layer, which sounds huge. You want to have like a centralized system which interconnects all the governmental institutions. Sometimes this might be too huge of a chunk to start working on. So how to start piece by piece. Right now in Kenya, together with ESTEV and the European Union and GIZ, using GovStack principles, since last year there's been going on a project where we are using GovStack principles to pilot 3 services in Kenya. So first one is Civil Registration Service of Kenya to digitalize the process of birth registration. The second one is the Nairobi city county to digitalize the process how different students can register to different courses. And the third one is WESA fund, which is a loan, which is a micro loan like development fund. And for them, we are doing this kind of like loan application management. The whole of the project, of course, it starts from this kind of discovery phase, governance and training, user-centric service design, and UA design. Those are the parts where we kind of got to understand what actually is needed, what is currently there, and what should be there. And there is the part what Lawrence was talking about. The different service patterns helped the teams to analyze what needs to be done. In the end, there will be this kind of like solution development for this kind of application. So basically, when we look at the proof of concept, what Taavi is showing about CRSR, about how to use X-Road, to how to connect all the different services, then I quickly jump a little bit forward. Then in the real life, the world can be quite messy. There are already different legacy systems which are in place. Then there are different external systems which need to be connected. Third kind of systems, e-citizens, where the citizens are used to interact with the government, and different kind of platforms and capabilities and how users can interact with the government. And currently there is no this kind of centralized interoperability layer as X-Road present. So how to get this thing to work? In the end, kind of from our analysis, we want that it looks something like that the user can go to their citizen portal, see what kind of births have been registered. There is a solution how doctors or midwives or whoever is registering the birth can register the birth, and how this is done in this kind of secure way when there is no this kind of centralized identification management and centralized data interoperability layer. Because like it's nice if we have this kind of centralized systems there, but if we don't have, then actually what we discovered, one of the like biggest I would say inefficiency elements of this process was that right now the childbirth is documented on paper somewhere in the hospital. And in Kenya, there are like thousands of locations where those kinds of information is entered. And if all the paper comes to a single point or somewhere where it needs to be entered, then it takes time, mistakes can happen, how to get this data to the citizens then, how the citizens would know the status of it, and how to get to the state where you kind of, in the end, you can print out or have this birth certificate. So how to make this more faster. And then actually we launched, we just took this element of the project, of the whole ecosystem. So that's the way how to start to build it like block by block. And to use this, to build this, we started to use this kind of like GovStack principles. So a little bit more about the context and background. Throughout kind of the life cycle of IT system, there are like different stages. And through those stages, there are different systems which will stay in place. So there will be a lot of legacy systems, which means kind of like if you want to do everything from zero, it might be a huge project. So possibly for a lot of governments or organizations, it's not possible to modernize everything at once. So you need to start doing by like block by block. And on the side, the same service which is there already needs to stay online and needs to work. So this were this kind of like background. So in the beginning, of course, we needed to design this like the system with the users, and the users were the doctors and the officials in the hospitals, the mothers who were giving birth, and the fathers as well, and as well the government officials who needed to have the data. So we needed to understand what they are doing, how they're doing it right now, and what are the like quick wins which what we can deliver from there. So design, understand the ecosystem, design for everyone, using different open source systems so that we can expand on those, build an API-first architecture so that we can extend the systems as per GovStack principles, and to build this kind of reusable content or like component library so that not only for this project, but any future projects in this organization, they can use it. In the first phase, as I said, so GovStack aligned as is and to be analysis. Lawrence was showing the patterns, like the different like processes, like how it is now, how it should be, and from there, kind of organization can define. So what is the element, what we should digitalize first, and what's the capability, what we can manage. And based on this analysis, using the GovStack principles for user interaction, like solution was designed. Wow. So, but to launch these kinds of projects in the Silver registration service, actually multiple projects had to be launched in parallel. So we were as an external partner. There were like different internal teams started to develop, and also external partners had to start developing. And we initially focused only on this on the end user interaction layer, because this will give the visibility to everybody involved to understand, okay, what are we going to build? Because like in the beginning, in our project, we just concentrated, okay, we have the analysis, we have design, we have UX, so let's build this kind of front-end solution with what the users can really use and test out. By users, I mean kind of the doctors and the officials from the Kenyan sides, so that they can use. But inside, actually, the organization, there are multiple different projects were launched, like one project to update the core, different projects to start building the service which can gather data around across Kenya for the birth registration. So multiple projects were launched at the same time. And here we were using the GovStack principles in terms of that it's API ready, it's secure, it's modular. So what did the GovStack kind of principles enabled us to do? So The different teams were able to advance in parallel. So the internal teams were working at the core. We were working together with Kenyan CRS authority on the front end side. Then now we have gone into this phase where the different teams are integrating the solutions. The same platform what we developed will be handed over. The component library from the front end will be handed over to the e-citizen portal, so they can start using the same building blocks what we used to update their service to incorporate our kind of elements what we did. So it's kind of it enabled, first of all, faster to everybody to understand like what needs to be built. Okay, what should be the components? Where can we use those different components? And kind of this helped us. So basically, when we could do everything from zero, then those like general interoperability layers would be really good to implement. But in real life, we need to do it block by block. And this is like one solution where also GovStack can help to take one piece and to kind of modernize it. So start from the analyze, design, front end. The same front end can be used for legacy systems in future and for the new system. And when you upgrade it, then you can move towards the single state, or how Tavi was saying, like the one government and one government solution for the citizen. But let's go even smaller. So how to start laying your foundation and how to use GovStack there. So remember, we had those two other services. There was Nairobi County School, or like vocational school course registration, and the WESA fund loan application. So for this also, we had the same analysis done as is to be to understand what's there. But here we started to use like open source technology, a Drupal CMS. We applied GovStack principles, so basically we decoupled it using like this kind of API ready front-end technology, which is like secure CMS here, and added some additional kind of functionality into our ecosystem, which can in future be adding like different additional kind of GovStack building blocks. Because like kind of for us in those projects, the goal was to launch the service so that the organizations can start using kind of at least one digitalized service in the organization. For that, we built this kind of like ecosystem, but we build it in a way that now when they learn how to use GovStack, they can start adding additional blocks on their own with their local partners or, I don't know, partners from the GovStack marketplace who know how to use it. This is basically kind of, this is how we built up this kind of minimal viable backbone to start using GovStack there, and we used the same rules. And that's how we got like this kind of a portal, website, information portal. It has different kind of solutions, like a service, how to manage the portfolio of services, how to get applications or forms in from the citizens, how to kind of process them, how to collect revenue. In Kenya and in a lot of African countries, there isn't like centralized ID system or digital identity. So a lot of identities or like authentication is connected to your mobile number or your mobile phone. So we added this kind of SMS-based and mobile-based authentication methods, and in a way so that you can be modular to add future building blocks in the future. And actually, thanks to the same GovStack principles, we were able within the project, as initially kind of we saw that the budgets might not be sufficient to kind of do full services. Actually, thanks to the principles, when we built the system for Nairobi County, the same system we were able to kind of clone, adapt, and put it for this WESA fund. So remember, this service is to register for training courses and to pay for the training courses and to manage this. And the other service seems like totally different. It's how to manage loan applications in kind of local communities to understand who is applying for the loans. Are they the kind of the correct people who should get it? But kind of the IT system and the building blocks underneath those two things are the same. So that's how this kind of like principles of different like service patterns, different building blocks, and different elements in the system can be used in GovStack. So yeah, like to summarize my kind of 50 minutes is sometimes the projects might seem huge. No worries. Probably we'll find some piece in the legacy system, how to upgrade it, and possibly to upgrade it with GovStack principles, so that in future you can start using additional building blocks from the ecosystem. And even if you don't have a legacy system or a base foundation, what you can do is use this kind of like, as I said, this minimal viable foundation, like use some open source technology, build it in a way so that you can start using the building blocks in future. That's a quick run on the 3 Kenyan projects. They are I would say, in the last stages of development and will be live by the end of summer. So invite you all to look at them then. Yep.
Thank you, Riho. Yes, I think he deserves